Okay, so I got these apples at the local Amish store up the hill, and they came in a great big wooden crate, and seems like a lot of them just kind of have seen the, worse for wear. So I had ordered some glass gallon jars from Uline, the company Uline that supplies a lot of industrial packaging and that type of thing. And they came in today, so I thought I'm gonna make a couple of these jugs with apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. And I just wanna remind you guys that it's basically, I fill the glass jug about halfway or so with the apple, or maybe a little bit more. And then I'm gonna use my barn water. And this is a pitcher that I just got actually for my birthday. This is a restaurant quality gallon measurement. So this is what I used to use when I was working in the biz. And so I'm gonna fill it up all the way with barn water, which is not chlorinated or treated at all. It's groundwater, spring water that we have for our barn. And if you're using city water or tap water, use filtered water or filter tablets, or let it sit out overnight so the chlorine kind of helps to evaporate. So you're looking to develop the bacteria that makes the bubbles, that produces the yeast and the gas and all that good chemical stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna just use my barn water. So I'm gonna go out and get that in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna chop all these apples. I'm just gonna rough chop them. It's nothing fancy, because then we're gonna put them down in the root cellar. I do have another video on this, but the quality isn't, probably, it's okay. It does give you the information, but I did it last year and I've since learned a lot about videos. Well, I say that, but we all learn things going along, and so I'm a little bit better these days. Even I still don't have a microphone because I can't make a microphone work. I have one, I just cannot seem to get my mind around the technological snafu part of having it. You can put the seeds in if you want, that's fine. You can just use skins and cores. I tend to give all my leftover skins and cores and things to my livestock. But I'm not going to be eating these because they're really soft and they're just not to my taste. But as with everything, you don't just need to throw it away. Either put it in a compost bin, give it to your livestock, or make something out of it. I could have made applesauce out of these. These would have been great for applesauce. Let's see, and then that just jammed up, so whatever, tip it over. But yeah, I don't like to waste anything. I didn't pay very much for these apples, so it's no harm, no foul. But I thought I had just gotten those, taken delivery on those glass jugs, so I thought, well, let me show you guys, remind you how to make your own apple cider vinegar. You can use quart mason jars, you can use whatever you have, as I always say. You can use pint jars, you can use, probably couldn't use plastic bags. Don't use plastic, really. I try not to use plastic for anything. But you can use, as you've seen, I save all my commercial glassware, like jars that stuff has come in from the grocery store. I save all that stuff. So whatever you have, because you're basically taking your measurement off of the volume that the water, I fill it most of the way to the top. You're basically taking your measurement from what you've already got in your jar. So it's just really not a big deal. It could not be more simple. The only thing complicated about making your own apple cider vinegar is the time it takes for it to ferment and settle down and do all the stuff that it needs to do. It's going to take you at least 6 weeks. You'll start to see the liquid in there. You'll start to see it bubbling and fizzing, almost like soda. And you can, there's another video I have, I'll link to it, that will show what it looks like. It smells like the most beautiful apple pie. It's just, making your own apple cider vinegar is so rewarding. And then you can use it for salad dressings. You can use it for whatever you use your typical store-bought vinegar for. But this way, you not only use up stuff that you might have otherwise thrown away, you also Ew, that one's really gross, but we're gonna throw it in there anyway. You also make lots of a product that you're gonna use, because vinegar doesn't necessarily go bad. So I feel kind of like we're having a coffee chat here, but we're actually having an apple chopping chat. But this is why we moved to this lifestyle. We just got really sick and tired of the mass consumerism that we were seeing, and we moved here from the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area in North Carolina, and we got very tired of the highway lifestyle, the keeping up with the Joneses, the waste, the just mass consumerism. And we just got really sick of that. It's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable for anybody unless you're, you know, a billionaire or royalty or something. And I don't want to live my life like that. And I want to learn things. And in this lifestyle, we learn all the stuff that our grandparents and great-grandparents already knew. We wanted to move here and have our children safe to walk down to the ice cream shop and get ice cream by themselves. And where we moved from, you know, you couldn't walk anywhere because everybody was always driving, which is fine. I like driving too. I have nothing against driving. I just want to be able to walk somewhere once in a while. So, so that is why we moved here. We basically threw a dart at the map and we ended up here in central New York at the sort of southern tier of the Adirondack Mountains in a tiny little village. And this is where we've stayed for the last 10 years. Okay, so that's a little bit of our story. I'm gonna go out to the barn and grab a full gallon of 4 quarts of water from the barn, and I'm gonna mix in my sugar, and we're gonna pour it over this, and then we're gonna put it down the cellar. That's all there is to making vinegar. Okay, I'll come right back. Okay, so the only thing to remember is that you want to add your sugar before you put it in your container, just so you can get it to dilute or to dissolve a little bit. So you're going to use 1 tablespoon of sugar per cup of water that you use. Okay, so in my case, I have 4 quarts, which is 16 cups. So I'm going to divide this in 2. So I'm going to need to use 8 tablespoons, which is half a cup. So half a cup per. So I'm going to use 1 cup of sugar in this amount of water. So I'll drop the specifics down below so you can just look it up, but 1 tablespoon of sugar per cup of water you use, no matter how large your vessel is. Okay, so I'm going to grab my sugar and we'll get on with it. Now I would like to try this method using my honey, but for now I know that this method works with just plain white granulated sugar. I'm just gonna stir it up a little bit to get it to dissolve. Okay. And I'm just going to have the water in here. Okay, now the apples will sink down more to the bottom, so I'm not going to worry about, because I'm going to go downstairs and stir this, just slightly poke it around and zhuzh it a little bit every day for a couple of weeks. And then after that it kind of sinks to the bottom and it just holds its own. Okay, let me get this other one done. gonna take just your ordinary, I wish that I had unbleached coffee filters, but this is what I have, so this is what I'm gonna use, as usual. I've had these for, I don't know, like 15 years or something. Actually, you know what? These were given to me by somebody that I used to work with in one of the restaurants I used to work in, and it was they were the wrong size filter for the commercial brewing system that we had, and so he just said, "Can you use these?" And I said, "Yes, indeed, I certainly can." And so then I just put that on the top like that. Rubber bands. Isn't she so cute? Okay, same thing with this girl over here. Let's see, let's move her over here. One extra. If you don't have coffee filters, you can use like a worn out tea towel. You can use cheesecloth. You could probably get away with a paper towel if it was thin enough, because you want the air to move through here. You want the air to make contact with this, and when the air and all the yeast in the air makes contact with the sugar and the fruit, then that's what makes the magic. So you don't want to seal it up. And then I'll go downstairs about once a day or once every other day and just agitate it from the top, like with the in that video that Let's Make a Little Bit of Magic, I think that video is called. It'll show you how I do that. So yeah, so I'm gonna take these down to the root cellar and get them stored up for a while. You know what? First I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark the date.